How you doing, guys? So, my review, I'll call it, of the Pinephone struck a few nerves with a couple of, I assume, Linux enthusiasts. So I want to cover that, and I'm going to show you some of the other great stuff that doesn't work on this phone. Um, the first guy tells me the phone is designed for Linux enthusiasts and programmers that want to write their own software on it. Most of the projects that you can run on are open source. If you don't like something, feel free to change it. I really don't get what you expect, and with all the respect to your opinion, the way you complain makes me cringe. That was the first comment. Well, I'm going to read you from the... Stand by. Okay, got rid of that call. So anyway, I'm going to read you from the website. When you go to the website, that's pine64.org/Pinephone. Perhaps you're in a line of work where security is a must. Yeah, that's for sure. Or a hardcore Linux enthusiast. No, that's not me. Or perhaps you just got enough of Android and iOS and you're really ready for something else. Yes, that's me. Okay, so that's their website. That's what it says there, right? The Pinephone may be the next phone for you. All right, I'm on board with that. And blah 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 blah. It's run by this. It's run by that. And and then it says the purpose of the Pinephone isn't only to deliver a functioning Linux phone to end users, me, but to also to actively create a market for such a device, and a lot of other blah 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 blah. So you can see that at pinephone64.org/Pinephone. You can read it for yourself. So that guy's full of shit because that doesn't. He says it's for Linux enthusiasts only. Well, that's not what that says, right? So and then another guy says, well, when you went to order it, you read there's a disclaimer when you order it. I'm going to read you the disclaimer. Okay, and it says, Beta edition Pinephones are aimed solely at early adopters. Oh, I like adopting early. You know, I'll always like to be at the ground floor of anything new and exciting. More specifically, only intent for these units to find their way into the hands of users with extensive Linux experience. Well, my experience with Linux is not vast, but what this really should say is you're going to have to code the phone yourself because it comes broken. It comes with a facade on it that looks great with all these icons, but none of them work. It's going to be up to you. And then I wouldn't have bought the phone, right? I wouldn't have bought it, right? But no, they tell me they want me to be their early adopting end user. Well, I want to be that now. Now that I've ranted. One guy said to me though, I complained about the email, and he said, "Well, we'll try using Geary or something like that. Let me just find it." Yeah, just take me a minute. Anyway, I'll show you what happened. The guy suggested a email app called Geary, Geary. Okay, so first thing that happened, I went into the phone, and you can see there's error messages on the bottom of it, and they just disappeared. It said could not access database. So I'm in the Pinephone store, if you will. So I'm going to type in Geary. And then there it is, right? I don't know if you can see that. No, you can't. Anyway, so I'm going to click on it and install it. And there, now you can see it. And look, look at that. What does that say? The package kit daemon has crashed, and it says it twice. So now what's really funny is I've been into this before. I installed Firefox from this menu, and it worked fine until today. Now it doesn't work fine anymore. I didn't do anything to the phone except turn it on, turn it off. So So let's cancel that because that doesn't work. I'm going to show you megapixels. Okay. This is the camera app for the phone, and if I push this button on it, what does that say? It says settings aren't functional yet, and I can click the back button. So there's no settings for the camera, so you can't enable flash. All you can do is front back microphone or front back camera and take a picture, and the pictures aren't that great. So let's take a look at the pictures I don't know. Here's another thing that happens. It doesn't always swipe when you want it to. So Coco is how you view your pictures. Now, here's a really neat feature of Pinephone. I call it Pinestone. With every picture you take, you get a color bar stripe picture, no extra cost. You see those two things with colored lines in them? I don't know where they come from, but I've watched some other videos on YouTube, and other people have the same problem. They don't know where they come from, but the phone creates them when it takes a picture. So it gives you the real picture and then this funny thing beside it. Anyway. So the camera app doesn't work. The picture viewer app doesn't work properly either. Or maybe it's a camera. Who knows, right? You can't install software because it can't connect to the database, whatever database that is, and then it gives you an error message. The only thing that works on this phone properly is Wi-Fi and Angelfish browser. That's one thing I can say about this. It works properly. It fits the screen. It's slow to load, which apparently is normal. Oh shit! Error. Error. Oh, okay. Apparently the Wi-Fi is not working today. Let me see what's going on. I'll turn it off and on. Hopefully that will fix it. Okay, I'm getting an error message today on the Wi-Fi. This is the first. It's breaking news. Okay, and it's tough to see that. It says wireless interface. No secrets were provided. Well, it didn't ask me for any secrets yet, so I'm assuming something's gone wrong with the password. Okay, so that's something new. Okay, so the other thing I tried to fix on it was getting the hotspot working. So I went into settings. And then I chose cellular networks. And then for all you aficionados that love unlocked phones, you know when you go to a provider, you got to put in I think it's APN addresses, or if things don't work properly, right? Well, you click on networks, and well, nothing there. You click on SIM cards. Well, of course there isn't a SIM card. That's why there's no network. I took the SIM card, put it back on my real phone. Access points. It is blank. So there's nowhere to put the APN addresses in for the Wi-Fi or for the hotspot to work properly, because the software is not complete. It's just a facade to have something, a placeholder for something that's going to work in the future, I guess. I don't know. So what else did I find out? Not much. Oh, I want to show you the phone book, and I gotta show it to you without showing you the phone number. So I'm calling my wife now. So there's the message I get. Device to call, phone number with colon, and I guess I'm supposed to select something from a menu, what device I'm going to use to call her with, but there's nothing to choose, so I can't make that call. And I know the phone works because if I open the dialer and type a number in, it will make the call. So the contact list, as I mentioned in my other email or other video, is no good. You can't choose people to call from it. You can't choose people to text from it. All you can do is look up the number, because you're going to need to look up the number and remember it while you hand key it into the phone. That's going to be really great. So the other thing I find out about this thing, the time on it's kind of wonky. The time is at the top of the screen right now. It's in 24-hour mode. When the screen is locked, it's in 12-hour mode. When I go into the clock settings, first of all, you can't escape from it without shutting the phone down, because there's no way to exit it. So I'm afraid to go into it again because I'll get stuck. So I'm not going to do that. Is there anything else good here? Let me think. Oh, you know what? This works properly. Well, assuming I haven't checked to see if the temperatures are accurate. But this gives you temperatures of stuff. What I really like funny is the bottom one. That's yeah, you see all that. So that's temperature stuff. I don't know what purpose that's going to serve to me. If it gets too hot, what do I have to do? Shut it off? I don't know. Let's hope it doesn't. Yeah. So hey, let's try and fix the internet together, shall we? I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to go into Wi-Fi. I'm going to go into my Wi-Fi settings, and it's asking me for a password. And let's hope I keyed it in correctly. Now, oh, apparently not. Bear with me while I try to remember what it is. Okay. I'm going to give up on this. Oh, I finally got it. Okay, so now the Wi-Fi is working. So let's go back to the fish browser, Angelfish. There we go. So this thing cost me, including duty, tax, shipping. There you go. Fits the screen nicely. Well, you could see that. Really cool. You know, I installed Firefox on this, but for some reason, when I type in the search box, the keyboard won't come up, and I don't know how to bring it up manually. So I uninstalled it because I can't use it. So since yesterday, my earlier video, the software store has error messages now, and I've only tried that Geary email client, so but I don't know if it's a problem with all of them, or just that maybe it's because the Wi-Fi is broken. I don't know. Maybe that'll work now. Let's try that, shall we? And you know, the phone keeps turning off all the time. Okay. But I'm pretty sure the Wi-Fi. Now I can't get the menu to swipe. I find with this thing, you just it's there we go. Just gotta stroke it enough times, and then it will come up. That sounds familiar for some reason. I'm not sure why. Okay, it's called Discover. That's the Play Store in Linux land. Discover. Unable to lock database is the first error message I get. Typing in Geary. Searching. There it is. Clicking install. Cross your fingers. Packet kit daemon has crashed. It says that 3 times. So I can't install that. So, and how can I do something else? I'm going to try Firefox again. I want to see it. And see if it's a problem with the whole thing. There it is, Firefox. Install. Whoops. Oh, what happened? Install. Okay. Yep, the whole thing is no good. Package kit daemon has crashed. So I didn't do anything to this phone, and what it did yesterday, it can't do today. So there's a quality device targeting end users who are tired of Android and iOS and want security, or they're Linux enthusiasts. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Basically, somebody's got to, basically this comes without software because it's unreliable, as you can see. It's a piece of hardware, and one guy said to me too that this is beta hardware as well. So this thing might be a brick before I know it, because maybe it's no good and they're going to issue a new piece of hardware. I don't know, but that's an anecdotal comment from a YouTube viewer who did not like my post about it. He's probably the coder who wrote this fucking crap and only did half the job, and 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 then they complain about, well, we don't get paid for it. Well, I didn't choose your job. You made the choice to become a software writer for a job that doesn't pay you anything. Didn't you think carefully about that? You know, my God, how are you ever going to get this phone to market if you can't put out a good product? Anyway, that's my rant for today, folks. And let's have lots more comments. I like the last ones. I'm not going to let you go. I'm going to read some more comments. Here's the guy who was civil. Anyway, word of advice: try another distribution. So install a different operating system. How much do you bet me I will get frustrated? Because I did that already. So I got the phone. It worked one day. I shut it off, charged it. Next day it wouldn't boot. So I downloaded a month and a half ago, at the time, the current version of Manjaro ARM, whatever it's called. Flashed it to an SD card, wouldn't boot. Flashed it to the eMMC, wouldn't boot. I gave up, come back later on. I see another one, a multi-boot image, where it gives you looks really nice menu of the on it, and you can choose the option. I flashed that. That didn't nothing. No, nothing there either. So nothing. And then 2 days ago, on the 25th of May, a new release was issued. I installed it on the phone, and that one works. So what was wrong the first two times? Is the phone just crappy and it's hit and miss whether you can image it correctly, or were the images no damn good because of the free software support? Guys who are working for free, so they don't really do a good job. I think that's probably what it is. Who would want a job where you don't get paid and you're supposed to make things work? Anyway, I'm ranting. Most of the projects that you can run on are open source. If you don't like something, feel free to change it. Yeah, well, I don't want to have to learn to code Linux. I want to learn how to use a phone. And like I said, in the mission statement at pinephone64.com/pinephone, I'm the end user that you want as your customer. So far, it's not going well. Okay. Anyway, he recommends trying a different distribution. It should go better. Plasma Mobile is just not ready yet. That's for sure. He's correct there. It's not ready at all. There's also an email client for distribution that works great called Geary. Well, I've tried to install it, but now there's something wrong with Discovery. And what am I going to do there? I suspect I'll just have to keep reflashing the phone and go back to the beginning again and start over. And I also suspect that this is inherent with his phone. It's just going to keep fucking up because from there was a YouTube video. I can't remember the guy called himself, but he did a demo on it, and the phone crapped out during his video, and he had to come back 3 days later to finish the video because he had to get the equipment to flash the operating system on it. So I'm not the only one who has these problems. It's a problem with these devices for sure. Anyway, I tried to check it out, Linmobinet, but alas, it didn't work. And if you look for apps, check out the apps listed that I maintain. So this guy must be a programmer. Linmobnet. Limob. Sorry, I'm butchering it, but yeah, that guy. Go to my video and look at the comments. And he had like nice things to say. This other guy, I'll call him D95 because I think he's a bot because I can't even pronounce his name. He's commenting it's for early adopters. Okay, yeah. So even though the mission statement says something different, he thinks it's only for Linux coding guys. I guess you guys need to have your own phone. Well, how about writing some code for it to make it work, and then let me give it a try? Okay, that's a good idea. What else does this guy have to say? It allows you to make phone calls. Isn't that the main purpose of the phone? Well, no, nobody uses their phone to make phone calls anymore. They do everything but that these days. What are you talking about? This guy thinks I should be happy because I can dial a number and receive a call. Anyway, normally when a beta is released to the public, it has gotten to the point where it's ready for retail lease. That's what I told the guy. Well, this is not ready for retail. This is not even beta. The software is incomplete. The network settings for the wireless carrier, you can't put the APT names in or whatever ASN names, whatever the acronym is for those names that make it work properly. You can't put them in because there's no place to put them in. No one's coded it yet. The camera software not finished either. It even says so, and you click the back button to go back because it's not coded yet. And the picture displayer has some kind of funky thing where it gives you striped pictures to go along with your real pictures. And it'd be nice to be able to add a flash to that too. But there's no way to do it. Anyway, I think their message is pretty clear here. This is the guy talking, D95, about Pinephone. They ship fully featured phone hardware. yeah, it boots once. That's fully featured. And it can be used by me to install the operating system I like. Hardware is in beta stage, and at the same time, a lot of Linux distributions that operate on Pinephone are also in beta stage. Hardware in beta stage? Why did I have to pay for it if it, the lifespan of hardware is 3 years right now. And, Rob Braxman got his Pinephone 15 months ago, February 2, 2020. So this phone is midlife. It's going to be old news soon. There's going to be a new version coming out. You got to get working on the code and get this thing up and running and get it out there because it's going to be obsolete before it hits the market. So this guy clearly is clueless as to how things really work in the world. He's probably in some kind of Linux bubble where everything is good. What else does he have to say? Phone allows you to make calls and receive them. It also has Linux terminal, which you can do everything. Well, I don't want to use Linux terminal. I want to open my contact list, tap on a name, tap on a phone number, and go, hello, how are you? That's what I want to do. And when I don't want to talk to them, I want to be able to do the same thing with text. And I want to take a picture of something, and if it's dark, I want to add flash. Am I asking too much? And when I want software to install, I want it to not crash. That's all I'm asking for. Anyway, that's it till next time. Leave some great comments, and I'll roast you on the next one. Thanks, guys. Looking forward to it.